In this video, I'll explain why everything is okay all the time and how you can live from this place, from this space of open acceptance. So, can you remember the last time you were worried about something and the situation resolved itself? And the outcome that you had been praying for and wanted came about, it all worked out, and you had that immense feeling of relief and gratitude and joy, and it just felt so good. And if you can remember that feeling of relief, that feeling of thank God, it's all okay. If you can tune into that feeling is something that can be with you all the time. And in that situation where you were worried about the outcome, if you could go back in time, if you could tell your past self that there's nothing to worry about, that it all works out, you'd go back and you'd say, listen, like drop all the worry. It's okay. It all works out. So, my question is, what if everything is okay all the time? What if you lived in that space of gratitude and joy constantly? You see, the mind is constantly searching for danger. It searches for problems to solve, it searches for things that it thinks are a threat. And if it doesn't find any, it will create some it just to give itself existence, or just to give its existence justification. So the mind judges, and everything is judged, and it thinks things are good or bad. And if it's something is good, it's usually left alone. If it's bad, it tries to change it. And the judgment of it being bad is mostly without evidence. Often it's simply created in the mind and it doesn't exist in physical reality. So it creates imaginary scenarios and then it fixates on the worst possible outcome. And all of this is so overwhelming. It's tiresome, it's nonstop, and the mind never gives up its search for threats. So ultimately, the mind creates suffering. Well, believing the thoughts and the problems that the mind brings up is what creates suffering. So, on the other hand, consciousness is neutral. It's neutral because it doesn't mind if something works out or not. It doesn't mind if something is one way or the other. It doesn't judge or make up scenarios of how things should be or might be. It accepts everything as it is. And because of this, everything is okay all the time. And when you live from this space of consciousness rather than from the mind, you begin to experience a profound sense of peace. You stop clinging to outcomes or resist what's happening. You simply flow with life. You trust that everything is unfolding as it should. And this doesn't mean that you stop taking action or that you stop caring about things. It means you stop letting the mind's imagined fears take over and control your experience. And you act from a place of calm, from a place of clarity, from a place of acceptance, rather than fear or anxiety. So the next time you feel worry or sadness or stress or whatever it is creeping in, just pause for a minute and ask yourself, is this coming from my mind or is this coming from consciousness? And the answer will most often be the mind. Consciousness doesn't create problems. So it's always going to be the mind if there's a seeming problem. And then asking yourself, am I reacting to a real problem right now? Or am I caught in a story my mind has created? And then take a deep breath, reconnect with the space of neutrality within you, that peaceful, quiet space within you. Remind yourself everything is okay. It always has been and it always will be. And when you live from this awareness, when you live in this awareness, you cultivate a constant sense of gratitude and joy, not just for things when things seem to go right, but all the time. And from this space, you'll find that your life feels lighter, feels easier, and it's infinitely more peaceful. So I hope you try this. If you do, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for being here and sharing this moment with me.